All right, Coach Hall, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Good, clean fun, some wrestling on a rainy day. You're pretty busy, man. You said you're off. You're somewhere. You're Terry Allison yesterday. You're here now.
Yesterday.
You're going to cadet.
Cadet dual camp at Woodward, so I'm all over.
Nice. The life of a wrestling coach,
That's right.
wrestler.
That's right.
You guys stay pretty busy year round, huh?
Yeah, no, we have a lot of guys stay in the summer, taking classes and have jobs or internships. We're pretty fortunate in Raleigh to have a lot of opportunities for our guys to stay and get better. So.
Place is like growing like crazy too, right? It's becoming like a really hot place to move.
I heard a stat, something like 93 new people move to the area a day.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What do you like it there?
Love it.
What's good? What makes you feel good in Raleigh?
It's
outside of wrestling.
it's a big enough city that you have. I mean, the Carolina Hurricanes. You have some sports there. Durham Bulls. You have 12 concert venues within a half hour of Raleigh. Some awesome opportunities. A lot of lakes. Our guys go fishing quite a bit. But really, the big thing is, it's a city, but you can be. It feels like a college town too. You can be out of the city probably in 15 minutes. And be in the country literally on some farms in 10, 15 minutes. And, you know, having an airport, a major regional airport that's growing every year too, within 15 minutes of campus is huge too.
So you did some stuff on your feet today. We're here at the C3, the College Combine, Compound College Combine. You went over some stuff on your feet, some hand fighting and an attack from there. Why did you choose that specific set of technique?
I think I probably think of like 3 to 5 areas that kids lack when they come into college, and hand fighting is one of them. So just trying to emphasize getting to an attack from your hand fight and using your pressure, using your hand fight to get to your attack. And I think it's really important because the better kids get away with taking shots from the open and just no setup, just different things. They get to college and they struggle a little bit. Just trying to connect the pieces and chain wrestle is really important. So,
where in particular is hand fighting like lacking in general in high school? You know, obviously there's those kids that are going into college.
Particularly staying in the tie. So just because you elbow pass or you snap doesn't mean that you do that and then back away. Like talking about like chain wrestling with your hand fight as well. So you're elbow passing to a snap, to a 2-on-1, to a foot fake, to a snap, and you put them under. And finally, you're creating an opening or an angle.
So what have you found is helping a kid pick these skills up? Is it time, or is it like, hey, just being taught this the correct way?
I think it's both. I think time on task is a huge deal. I was just talking about it with John Mark Bentley. It's like, how are you going to get better in the off season? Like, you have to put in the time. At the end of the day, we're a high skill set sport, and it just takes time to learn these things. And learning it's the first step, but actually applying it and doing it. Like they talk about the 10,000 rep rule or whatever. I really think it's true. Like, if you want to master something, it takes a lot of time and effort. So,
nice. What do you think of the combine concept that Compound's doing?
I think it's great. You know, I've been to several around the country. I think it's a great way to see kids in a different environment where they're scrapping, and we get to sit back and kind of see what they are in this drill or this live setting. And I think you learn a lot about the kids. You know, aside from the ones you're recruiting, eventually talking with them and kind of getting to know them as a person. But I think wrestling exposes a lot in a human being, the good and the bad. And I think coaches need to see that, because at the end of the day, people are taking a chance on you, and you're taking a chance on them. And that's part of the job, is being able to coach guys up when you get them. And everybody's going to have some type of weakness or, you know, something they need to build on. And that's your job as a coach, and seeing that and exposing it.
So outside of, you know, obviously the kids in here, they're interested in thinking about wrestling at the next level. You know, outside of someone being a good wrestler, and you notice that they can wrestle really well, what gets you excited as coach?
Hearing from other people, and not just their club coach, maybe a coach in the area, just that, hey, this kid's a really good kid, works really hard. And coming from, you know, everybody and their brother, their club coach, their high school coach, their dad, they're all going to tell you obviously great things, but I want to hear something like, he could do better at this. He's still a little bit raw. And this is my opinion, like looking at from the outside in. I like hearing those things from other people, just because at the end of the day, again, you're taking a chance on somebody and they're taking a chance on you, and you want to know, like, coming in, I need to address these things with these certain guys, and I think it helps you become a better coach because you have to know your athletes really well and who you're recruiting. And
Yeah.
I think it's important.
And so, are you going on your 7th year of college coaching next year?
No, 9th year.
9th year?
Crazy.
Yeah,
I jumped right out of college, jumped
Yeah.
in, So time flies when you're busy.
I feel like we were just competing not long ago, so that makes me feel funny. But what do you do to continue to grow as a coach, and then what's maybe a new idea or something that you've learned recently?
Yep. I think everywhere I go, and I think oftentimes it's the other way around. So many high school coaches, club coaches, they try to pick your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I actually try to pick their brain. And what are you doing to develop your kids, and how do you run your practice, and what are you doing? And I do the same thing with college coaches too, but I really think that you have to have a growth mindset all the time, and I don't think you're never too old to learn, and you're never too late to be great,
Gotcha.
And I think you get to a certain point, like you chase titles or you chase positions, and all of a sudden you feel like you should just be good, but again, our sport, it exposes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's always somebody out there who's going to hustle. There's always somebody out there who's trying to do something better, and I think at the end of the day, I just ask questions, and it's not just from the college coaches. Like I said, like, I learn a lot from the high school coaches,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tell them that, like, that's great. I think some things I might implement, in the summer or the fall or whatever, and it ends up, I think, growing our sport, because I like to share those things with other people too. Like, hey, I learned this at a clinic that I was at, or whatever, so.
What's your advice what would your advice be to these kids as they get closer to a decision to wrestle in college?
It's hard with a combine because you have different levels,
Mm-hmm.
and so I tell this to everybody that I get in front of, that wherever I go, that number one, Division I is the end-all be-all.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, go and see some places, because a place you really are hyped about and you want to go check out, you get there and you all of a sudden feel it may not be the fit for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then some place that you're like, oh, I shouldn't, I'm not even going to look there. And then you end up checking it out and you find out, like, maybe this place fits me. I think a lot of guys are set in their ways because, like, oh, my cousin went here, or my dad went here, or somebody's telling me to go here, so I'm going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to find the place that really fits you, because at the end of the day, those people aren't going to be getting up at 6 a.m. to lift and run. Those people aren't interacting with your coaches daily, and if you don't fit with that culture,
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that I can say is I hate when kids have a negative experience in college, because I feel like it's hard for them to jump back in and get back to the sport because they're in a funk, or they don't, and so I think do the homework, go on the visits, and don't be pressured to commit it anywhere until you feel like this is the place that I want to be. Like, when you know. So for these guys, it's like, do your homework. And again, like, there's like a lot of them are just so set on Division I when your best experience might be Division III. You have to know yourself, so.
Awesome. Last question, though, you're trying to get out of here. What's exciting for looking at next season for NC State?
I think having a chip on our shoulders, not ending the year the way we wanted to. And I think we had a lot of guys who were redshirting, who were chomping at the bit. Jacob Camacho, Trent Hidley, Matt Fields. We got a bunch of good young guys who are chomping at the bit to get in there and make an impact. And we have a great group of guys coming in too, that we're probably going to end up having needing some guys right away. And I think just the exciting thing of having some good leaders now, like Tariq and Hayden, Green and the Bullards, like those type of guys to lead our young group, and the unknown,
Yeah.
the unknown. But I know we have a great group, and they're excited just as much as we are. So
Awesome. Look forward to next season. Thanks for doing what you guys are doing, turning NC State into a stinking powerhouse.
appreciate all you guys do too.
All right, Adam, you got anything else for us?
No, again, I appreciate everything you guys do, like spreading the love of wrestling and trying to grow content. It's huge. Appreciate everything you guys do.
You're the man.